Nobody likes a handball, but they're rampant in the game. They've cost many teams an honest victory in the past, leaving managers, players and fans bitter at the outcome. Let's take a look at 5 of the more controversial handballs in recent memory. Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez does not seem to care about being liked, and it's just as well, because I'm guessing he still isn't welcome in Ghana. The Uruguayan, who has chosen to snack on players' shoulders in the past, managed to stir up a plate of controversy for himself before he'd even set foot in England. Ghana were vying to become the first African side to reach a World Cup semi-final 7 years ago, and would have done it too, were it not for the then Ajax frontman and his valiant act of blatant cheating. Following a goal-mouth scramble deep into extra time, Suarez, standing on the line and with the weight of a country on his shoulders, desperately clawed away the ball with all the subtlety of a Ronaldo celebration. So the Uruguayan was shown a straight red card. It wouldn't be his first indiscretion in such a tournament, and so Asamoah Gyan had the chance to send his country into the final 4 with a spot kick from 12 yards. But just like when he had a chance to make a name for himself in Premier League football, he bottled it, crashing the penalty against the bar. The villain of the piece celebrated like an unapologetic madman on the bench, and the South Americans went on to triumph on penalties. Diego Maradona. To many, Diego Maradona is one of the greatest architects to even look at a football. To others, he's a brazen, good-for-nothing cheat who should have been expelled from the sport after his heartless antics cost England a 2nd World Cup. To be fair, there's nothing to suggest that the Three Lions would have gone on to win the 1986 tournament had they advanced past Argentina in the quarterfinals, and it's a shame that Maradona's 2nd goal, arguably one of the greatest ever scored, is slightly overshadowed by the one he punched past Peter Shilton. As we all know, the RGs edged out England 2-1, went on to lift the World Cup, while the Three Lions went and licked their wounds for the next 30 years. Thierry Henry. Ireland have not been to a World Cup in 15 years, and there's good reason for that, such as giving jobs to lads who couldn't manage a post office, handing out caps to Paul McShane, and Thierry Henry. Yep, the Sky pundit may get paid a hefty wage to criticise footballers nowadays, but it was him that robbed a country of 4 million people of a World Cup, and then had the gall to console a crestfallen Richard Dunn on the turf in the aftermath. He might as well have ransacked his house and stuck around to leave a letter of apology on his fridge. The 2010 World Cup playoff tie was level in aggregate, having entered extra time in Paris, with Ireland leading 1-0 on the night and looking set to force penalties. And then Flor Malouda floated the ball into the box. McShane failed to deal with it, of course. Henry handled not once but twice, using skills that wouldn't have looked out of place in an All-Ireland final, to set up William Gallas's killer blow. And then the fallout. An incensed Ireland demanded retribution, with the FAI first calling for France to offer them a rematch. To be fair, Patrice Evra did offer them one on the PlayStation. Things got a bit desperate when the FAI started talking about entering the tournament as an extra 33rd team. Come on John, just let it go. Lionel Messi. Thierry Henry was pretty bitter about the perceived persecution from the media following his handball, likening the reaction to as if he'd killed someone. Recently he contrasted it to Lionel Messi handballing against Espanyol in 2007, which didn't really draw any criticism. On the contrary, it actually brought more admiration. Messi had already reconstructed Maradona's goal of the century during that 06-07 season, waltzing past 5 Getafe players to score a carbon copy and break the internet. So weeks later, when he punched home the opener, guiding a deflected cross past Carlos Kameni via his outstretched fist against Espanyol, the 19-year-old was officially christened the new Maradona, despite the fact he had just cheated Espanyol out of a win. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink. Not the most famous handball of the lot, but Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink's first goal for Middlesbrough and the linesman's failure to spot his blatant handball possibly had dire consequences for the fate of Newcastle United moving forward. Having sunk to a disappointing 5th place finish under Sir Bobby Robson the previous season, how times have changed, the club looked to have made a winning start to the 04-05 season, leading 2-1 deep into injury time at the Riverside, and then Bolo Zenden drilled across into the area, allowing a grateful Dutchman to stoop and gobble it up, turning home with his arm. A furious Robson called it the hand of Hasselbaink in the aftermath, failing to hide his anguish at dropping 2 valuable points. He wouldn't win another game as Newcastle manager, was sacked 2 weeks later, and things have just gone swimmingly for the club ever since.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.